Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute. I am fully aware, but if you see the title of the video, it's that time of year. It's my favorite time of year, at least here on YouTube. It's time to get back in the classroom. Before we head to the classroom today though, I just want to touch base, get on the same page, reintroduce myself for those of you that are brand spanking new. For those of you that have been here for the last 7 years, just kind of fill you in on life real quick, what classroom setup's gonna look like this year, and then we'll head down to school and we'll get going. Let's back up a little bit, especially for my new friends. Hi. I gave birth to my third and final baby in December, so I have not been teaching really since December. And it's July, so to say that I am anxious and eager to get back in the classroom is an understatement. I am ready to get back. So that was the first big thing that was going on. The second big thing is I am going through another grade level-ish switch. I am teaching a 2-3 combo this year. So that's definitely gonna impact my classroom setup a little bit this year. And then finally, for those of you that may not have been here, my school just went through like a gnarly $30 million renovation, which is crazy. So I've been bouncing around classrooms for the last couple years and it's just been like absolute chaos. This last school year, I was in the same classroom that I'm gonna be going to today. So having that first half of last year to really kind of get a feel for the space and the room, I have a better idea of how I wanna kind of move things around for this year, which again should make classroom setup a little bit more exciting. Another thing that might be different in this video is that I have my 6-month-old baby with me, so she's gonna be coming to school with me. She might be on my chest or like rolling around on the floor. I'm not really sure. I've never done classroom setup with one of my kids before. They've always like been in daycare or I had someone watching them, but I'm kind of like, screw it. I'm just gonna take her with me because I just wanna start getting the ball rolling and I don't wanna have to figure out the logistics. The boys are at daycare, so that helps. And then lastly, I wanted to throw out there that if you are brand new or you're moving to a new school or you just wanna like revamp your space this year, I wrote like an 80-page ebook all about classroom setup. It's like, I call it the ultimate classroom setup guide because that's really what it is. I break down the entire process in a way for you to use your time efficiently and like just really get a good grasp on what to do before you head in there because it's a daunting task. And I'm really hoping that that ebook is really helpful for some of you. I will have all that linked down below. I'm probably gonna reference it myself when I go to my classroom because it's been a while. I'll also mention, like the title says, we're not actually like setting up today. Today's more about taking things down that I know I wanna move, kind of staring a little bit and figuring out the layout, talking through kind of some of the changes that I wanna make. And then once I get this stuff done, I can get a little bit more organized and then the next time we head back in will be like setup time. So today is just more of a cleanup, prep, take down kind of a day. The janitors haven't even really cleaned my room yet, so I'm just sneaking in beforehand. They told me mid-July, but you know what, it is what it is. Also, should mention, it is a ripe 110 degrees here in Sacramento today, so this could be the shortest video ever if the AC's off, but we'll see. Usually it's on, we should be fine. Okay. I'm gonna stop rambling and let's head to school. Okay, we are here. Time is precious, so I just wanna jump right in. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is just kind of pan you around. This is the layout that I had last year. And while it worked, I'm gonna show you what did not work and kind of my thoughts on what I wanna change. And then we can just go from there. So let me flip you around. So really quick, here is an overview of the room. The baby doesn't come with it. Okay, so this back wall actually worked out beautifully. So this is where I had all the kids keep their headphones, and then this was their like student mailbox, and that worked out great because they would come in, put their binders away, and then have a seat. The Chromebook cart has to be right here because of the only plug for this like charger thing is right here, so that has to stay. And then the library was over here and that worked out really well. I'm pretty sure I ordered another one of these bookcases, but I honestly don't know if I did. And if I don't get it, it's not the end of the world. Printer was back here. That worked out really well. This was like our main whiteboard for schedules and stuff, but we'll talk about the whiteboard another day. As you can see, the alphabet started falling down. So this is where we ran into some issues. I had a huge filing cabinet here that we had to keep in the room until the end of the year because of like the remodel or whatever. So I had to kind of have this be my like teaching corner. This is where my Elmo was and all that stuff. Here's why that's not ideal. I had to put the TV over here in the corner. If it's in the middle of the wall, it takes up so much floor space that there wasn't enough room for the kids. So I had the TV in the corner. Well, as you can imagine, not ideal when there's like cabinets and useful storage right here that I wanted to access. So here's what I'm thinking for next year. I'm thinking that the TV, we're gonna put in this corner, and then all my teaching area, I'm gonna move to that corner. And we'll see what happens there, because then the next challenge is the small group table, because a couple things. Because I am teaching a 2-3 combo, I get a full-time aide again, which I am super grateful for, but I want them to have like a designated space. I have this desk for them. Finding a place for it is a little bit tricky. I don't want this to be their designated space. Because I am teaching a combo, most of my instruction is gonna be done at a small group table. So like that's gonna be somewhere that I need to be. So I have to find out where that's gonna go, where my aide's desk is going to go, and like a proper table situation. If you guys have been here for a while, you know that I love to keep my kids in groups for various reasons. For collaboration, for management, for all sorts of things. But I might have to get a little bit creative with the desks this year. Okay. Oh, what? You're gonna hear lots of squawking. So now that I've kind of brain dumped all that, here are a couple other things that need to change. This wall got destroyed. I love the wood paper, so I'm gonna have to either redo that or do something else. I think I'm gonna keep the wood because I really like the way that it looks back here with the grass wall. Here was the other issue with last year. Because the TV's up front, this is where I did a lot of my teaching, which was great, but because I was putting up anchor charts and stuff, sorry about the baby, on this wall, that's partially why it's so destroyed, because things were coming off and on, off and on, off and on. So I'm thinking that I want to purchase a 6x4 whiteboard, mount it to this wall, and then repaper it. I think that will be super functional because this wall is huge and it's all just like corkboard. I don't know what they were thinking about not putting a whiteboard on it, but whatever. We can figure that out. So today I'm going to measure and see what size I think would be best. And then I'm going to take all this paper down. So that being said, here is my goal for today. I am going to take down all the wood paper. I want to move all of the kids' desks to the back of the room so I can get a really good visual. And then I want to move the TV to the other corner and start playing with a layout for my teacher space. Because I feel like once I have my layout, I will be able to figure out what other pieces of furniture I need to bring back in. This is all stuff that I talk about in the ebook, by the way. I'll have it linked down below. But that's my goal for today. And then once I have all that figured out, I can figure out what else I need to clean up and clear out to get ready for like real setup. And I can start to think about other things that I want to do. So all that being said, I am going to put the camera down and just get to work. Here we go. Okay, I'm officially out of breath. All the desks are back there. And because I know somebody is gonna ask me, I know they all have wheels. They're all locked though, because if you can picture 26 8-year-olds rolling tables, and it's just a bitch to unlock them all. And yes, I can cuss, I'm a grown-up. I digress. Okay, so now I wanna move the small group table, that table also to the back. So we have this fresh space, and then I'll start moving things around up front and taking off that paper. The baby is just thriving, by the way. Another reason I was lifting the tables, she was laughing. I'm sorry, I'm obsessed. These red chairs, awful. They're leaving, they're horrible. So now that I'm seeing the whole space a little bit more open, I'm thinking I might do my small group table here because I'm going to switch what's on this whiteboard and move that to the front whiteboard that I was telling you about. I think I might do that, and then I can utilize those drawers and stuff for my small group. Also, I think it's time for this little thing to go bye-bye. I've had it literally since my first year of teaching, and it doesn't serve any purpose other than like being a catch-all for my crap. So, also, I was thinking that maybe these could go inside one of these, where are they? These cabinets? That's something I'll play with in just a little bit. Okay, we're getting there. I'm going to now move the front to how I think we're gonna do it. Initial thoughts, I'm kind of obsessed with it over there. It makes so much more sense. It's not blocking any of the cabinets. It's blocking a big chunk of wall that I never really used, that whole, like, this little green wall. There's outlets right there. I'm kind of loving that. Now here's where my brain started to go to, though. When I use my Elmo, like my teaching Elmo, it is kind of nice to be close to the TV because it's an interactive TV. So I might play with like, so that wall's clear. The baby's starting to get fussy. I'm gonna have to strap around in a minute. And I'm actually glad I took that all down because I think it'll be easier to mount the whiteboard and then wrap around it. I also think I might play with doing some of that grass up front. We'll see once we get the whiteboard in. Okay, I'm running out of time. I know, I can get you in a second. I'm running out of time, so I'm gonna try and get this area done, and then that might be it for this video. So let's keep going. That's better. That's better. Woo, how times have changed. Visual person. So I measured out 6x4, that's the size of the whiteboard that I think I want, and kind of spaced it out. And now I'm debating if I want to go 8x4, because that would bring it all the way out to the lines, a foot wider on each side. I don't think it's really that big of a difference. But I do love the idea of having that extra whiteboard there. So actually, you know what? I think I might do an 8x4. Now that I see it in the space, it could totally handle it. I thought it would be too big. So basically it'd just be like the size of one of these. Okay, so that's awesome. I also have like a white bench that I might bring back in and put there. I do like this teacher desk over here. I totally forgot that this thing goes up into a standing desk. And I think that's fine. I can still teach like my Elmo from there. That's what I'm used to. Yeah, it's fine. That's fine. Okay, so this is pretty much everything I wanted to do today. I do think I'm going to move my small group table over here. The next day I come in is going to be a big setup day. Probably I'll hang a whiteboard once I get one. I will move the furniture, and then I can start fine tuning. But this baby's getting fussy, so it's time for us to pack it up. I do really quick also think it's worth mentioning that when I set up this classroom last year, I had 2 days to get everything moved in and set up before the first day of school. So I think I did a pretty good job, all things considered. I do love that this year I'm going to have so much more time to make sure that it runs and functions the way that works best for me and my kids. So I'm really excited about that. Okay, I need to get out of here. If you enjoy these videos, make sure you give this a thumbs up. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the whole classroom setup journey. It's a journey, it always is. Oh, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video without the baby. Bye.